everyone. Welcome to our podcast. This is my story. It's brought to you by the RADish Ranch. I am Karen Poitras, your host for this podcast. This is our second episode titled, Let's Talk About Therapeutic Parenting. So we're going to share with you the tips and tricks and types of therapeutic parenting we use here at the RADish Ranch. Hey everyone, welcome here to our second episode. Let's talk about therapeutic parenting. We're going to talk about what the definition is of therapeutic parenting, why parents use it, and then we're going to cover some of the main practices that we use and teach here at the RADish Ranch. So the definition for therapeutic parenting is healing parenting for kids who have emotional and behavioral disorders. We use it for kids with attachment disorder, reactive attachment disorder here at the ranch, but it can also be used for FAS, FAE, autism, Asperger's, ADD, ADHD, or PTSD, among many other disorders that kids have. So therapeutic parenting is a form of parenting to build or repair, in some cases, a bond with an unattached or emotionally disturbed child. It's a kind of parenting that goes way above and beyond what your average parent goes through with a healthy, securely attached child. To a lot of people, it looks like a very strict type of parenting. And in a way it is. There are very firm boundaries, very tight structure, which is what kids with emotional and behavioral disorders need to feel safe enough to heal. So for an outside perspective, that's what people see, is it looks pretty harsh. What a lot of people don't see when they're watching a family do therapeutic parenting is the amount of nurturing and love that goes into it. A lot of the nurturing parts are done at home where nobody sees it, and parents do it when there's nobody else around, because it's a really emotional time when they're connecting with their child, and they don't do it out in public. So a lot of the times people see the harshness and the structure without getting to see the love that goes into it. So we're going to talk about some of the main practices. So we use the practices I'm going to mention, we use these at the ranch. So we have some kind of standard practices of therapeutic parenting. But every child is different, every family is different, every situation is different. So we really focus on tailoring the approach to every family and child to fit their needs at that time. So it's not a one-size-fits-all type parenting. It's much more of an art. First thing I want to talk about is felt safety. And this is kind of the basis that everything else gets built on, is our kids have to feel safe. So felt safety is the feeling of safety. It's not being told you're safe here, no one's going to hurt you, this is a family where you're safe. It's something our kids need to feel. So it comes from having an environment and people around you where you will be physically, emotionally, and mentally safe. For our kids with reactive attachment disorder, this includes keeping them safe from themselves. When they can get into things or make crazy decisions or get away with crazy stuff, they don't feel safe from themselves. So some of the practices we use to have felt safety in our homes is a line of vision supervision, where our kids are always in sight of the adult, whether it's their parent or their respite provider or a therapist that they're with or a teacher at school. We keep them within sight so they know we're watching them. And when they felt seen and they're watched, they feel safe. Nobody's going to get to hurt them. Nobody's going to come and take them away. We can see where they are and what they're doing. This also keeps them from feeling unsafe from themselves. They know that if there's some misbehavior or they're testing a limit, we can see it and correct them in a brain-based way to help them feel safe. Some of our really severe kids, we use the 6-foot rule, where they stay within 6 feet of the adult. And for the really severe kids, they need that amount of safety where they know there is a strong, powerful adult right there who is going to keep them safe. We use door alarms on the bedroom doors at night, and this really provides a feeling of safety for our kids. They're hypervigilant, they're alone in their rooms at night, and they're constantly afraid, is someone going to come in and hurt me? Is someone going to come in and take me away from my family? And then to keep them safe from themselves, can I sneak around the house at night and hurt people or animals or steal things or break stuff? So we have parents put alarms on the bedroom doors. We don't lock the doors. The kids can come out if something happens. But it's put there, and we tell our kids, this alarm is on your door so that I know you're safe. I will know if someone opens your door to go in, and I will know if you open your door to come out so I can keep you safe. And our kids sleep better at night, and our parents sleep better at night. We use really tight structure in all aspects of the child's daily life. We simplify their routine down to the really basics, and we keep their environment really simple and their schedule really simple. And all of this provides our kids with a feeling of felt safety, where they're not overwhelmed by being stressed out and worrying about all of these things and places and schedules around them. Another practice that we do, we base it off of the first year of life attachment cycle. So there are 4 stages to this cycle. The first one is the baby has a need, and that can be they're hungry, they're tired, they need a clean diaper, they need to be cuddled, they need emotional connection. And the second stage is a baby asks for that need to be met, which is when a baby cries. The third one is the need is met by a loving caregiver with love and nurture. So not just providing for the need, but adding in that loving smile or the loving touch that parents do with an infant. And the fourth part of that cycle is that the baby develops trust. So when they have a need, they ask for it to be met, and it's met by a caregiver with love and nurturing, our babies learn to trust. Kids with attachment disorder had that cycle broken within that first year of life. So to have our kids' development catch up to where it needs to and to work on that attachment they missed out on, we have them redo this cycle. And we do that by having our kids ask for their needs to be met. Whether it's they need to go to the bathroom, they need a drink, they need to get something, they need to do something, we have them ask their caregiver. And our kids find that very scary because they learned early on in life that nobody was going to meet their needs. Nobody was going to do it. Nobody was going to meet it with love. So it's really scary for them to trust their adoptive parents or their foster parents to do that. And when they do that and the caregiver can say, yes, of course, can say it with love and a smile, our kids can complete that cycle and trust. And so we have them do that with everything so parents have the most opportunities possible to say yes and meet their child's needs. Another program we use is the brain-based behavior intervention. We call it the 3BI. So the 3BI program we use to deal with any defiant, destructive, disrespectful, or limit-testing behavior. It's a program that promotes brain development, self-image development, self-esteem, attachment and connection, and it teaches our kids life skills. So it's just this really amazing program. We start out with a brain shifter to get our kids to think clearly. When they're being defiant or destructive, they're in that back part of their brain and they can't think logically. And so to get their brain shifted to logic and reasoning, we have them do some brain activities such as jumping jacks, brain jumps, brain boosters, strong sitting, which is a yoga-like mindfulness pose to help them calm down, or we have them jump on a mini tramp. And then we have the child accept responsibility for their actions. And that can be just having them tell us, yes, I told a lie, or I kicked my brother, or no, I did not finish my chore. And when they can accept responsibility, they can start healing. Then we have them give back. So if they've disrupted another child or their caregiver, or they've been disrespectful to an adult, we have the child give back. So they've taken someone's emotional time and energy and they give back to that person. And that teaches them the give and take that you have to have in all relationships. And they might give back by giving their mom a back rub or rubbing her feet, or doing a chore for her so mom has some time to relax and fill up emotionally. And every time they give back, it needs to be something that teaches a life skill. Giving mom a great back rub, I think, is a great life skill. Being able to sweep a floor is a great life skill. So it's a really great program that focuses on so many different parts of healing. And it empowers the caregivers to use a brain-based approach that is actually making physical changes to the child's brain. Some other aspects of healing work that we do are play and connection. They're absolutely necessary for our kids to heal. They're kids, so they need to play. They need connection. So for them to attach and to thrive, we make sure we add lots of that into all of our programs for parents to do with their kids. We teach some TheraPlay techniques, some of the games they use in TheraPlay for parents to use with their child. They're just really short and simple because our kids' emotional age is usually between 1 and 3 years old. So we try to use games that connect with their emotional age. They have a very short attention span, and because they're so full of fear of connecting, we keep it really short so that they don't have time to get overwhelmed. We use Bruce Perry's 6R program to promote connection, attachment, and brain growth. And those are just really fun games that you play 5 to 6 times a day for 7 minutes. We teach parents to do a daily snuggle time. So they sit and rock their child. How our kids missed out on when they were younger, our parents get to redo that. And they tell them silly stories or sing them songs and feed them some kind of sweet milk sugar. We also teach parents to have daily structured playtime. So that's where we have specific limits and activities for our kids to do that promote brain development. So some kind of building toy or drawing, and we set tight limits so that there's felt safety involved. They can practice body control and use their imagination. We also teach and encourage parents to give their child 12 hugs a day, and that really helps to promote connection, healing, acceptance, and bonding. And then something we teach the parents is we teach the 3 jobs of parents. We often teach the kids they have jobs to do, and then they want to know what the parents do. So the 3 jobs of parents are to love their child, keep their child safe, and teach them about life. So we have parents model all of those aspects with empathy and using connection and with firm, consistent boundaries so that the child sees them as loving, caring, and safe. Then we teach the kids also what their jobs are. And our kids have 6 jobs. We call it the 6 jobs of strong kids. And it's my job is to be respectful, responsible, and fun to be around, to do my chores fast and snappy right the first time the adult's way. And we instruct these in all aspects of the child's life, everything they do. So being respectful to adults, to peers, to property, or to the setting that they're in. We have them being responsible for their hygiene, their chores, their schoolwork, and their own belongings. We have them be fun to be around, which means learning to share, being kind to others, showing empathy and compassion so that people want to hang out with your kids, that they think they're fun. And then by having them do their chores or jobs or whatever work they have fast and snappy right the first time the adult's way prepares them for schoolwork, going into the workforce, and any future relationship that they have. One of the last things that we teach our kids is the 5 things a child is in charge of. And this list is: I am in charge of my brain, my feelings, my strong, my thoughts, and my 6 jobs of strong kids. Kids with reactive attachment disorder feel like they have to be in charge of everything in order to survive. However, we need to teach them that they are safe relying on the adults who are in their lives now. They now have safe and loving parents who make good choices for them. So we have our kids practice these 5 things that they're in charge of, build self-control with that, and once they have self-control in these areas, their brains will be strong enough and ready enough to make bigger choices and bigger decisions in their lives. So those are the main practices of therapeutic parenting that we use and we teach. We also encourage parents to have an attachment and trauma therapist on their team that they see weekly to help with the connection, to be able to process the trauma with the child, and we recommend other forms of treatment such as EMDR. We use neurofeedback, biofeedback, heart math, brainwave optimization, and other treatments that complement therapeutic parenting to help our kids in all aspects of their healing. And that brings us to the end of our second episode. Let's talk about therapeutic parenting. Thank you for joining us here today on our podcast, This Is My Story, and we look forward to seeing you on future episodes. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel so you get all of our updates straight to your inbox. Make sure you click that notification bell. Also connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. Look for the RADish Ranch. Also check out our website, www.theradishranch.org. All places will have a release for our next episode, update information on that, as well as all of our programs and services that we provide for therapeutic parents looking for healing for their kids with reactive attachment disorder. This episode has been great. I'm Karen Poitras, your host, and we'll see you next week. Stay awesome.